Forward. One of these things is not like the others. Which is different, do you know? Can you tell which thing is not like the others? I'll tell you, if it is so. Big Bird. Book 1. Remember Normal. Presidential Quotes. On Mistakes and Facts. It is much easier at all times to prevent an evil than to rectify mistakes. George Washington. Facts are stubborn things, and whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passions, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. John Adams. I moved on her and I failed. I'll admit it. And I did try and fuck her. She was married. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. Donald Trump. He who permits himself to tell a lie once finds it much easier to do it a second and a third time, till at length it becomes habitual. He tells lies without attending to it, and truths without the world believing him. Thomas Jefferson. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet, just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Donald Trump. National honor is national property of the highest value. James Monroe. What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank. Donald Trump. I cannot ask of heaven success, even for my country, in a case where she should be in the wrong. And in Latin, let justice be done, though heaven may perish. May our country be always successful, but whether successful or otherwise, always right. John Quincy Adams. Science has helped transform the United States into the most productive nation in the world. Now and in the years ahead, we need more than anything else the honest and uncompromising common sense of science. When more of the people of this world have learned the ways of thought of the scientists, we shall have better reason to expect lasting peace and a fuller life for all. Harry S. Truman. And then I see the disinfectant. It knocks COVID-19 out in a minute. 1 minute. And is there a way we could do something like that, by injection? Inside, or almost a cleaning, because you see it gets on the lungs, and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. You're going to have to use medical doctors, but it sounds interesting to me. Donald Trump. Outer space used to be called the final frontier, but today we have begun to tap another frontier, inner space. I think one of the reasons I've always had such little patience for those who talk about the limits of growth is that in my lifetime I've seen those limits shattered again and again by questing minds. It is our responsibility to the next generation to keep America a place where we can dream big dreams and then make them real. Ronald Reagan. The concept of global warming was created by the Chinese in order to make U.S. manufacturing non-competitive. Donald Trump. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. John F. Kennedy. As long as the ancient enemies are rampant in the world, illiteracy, ignorance, disease, poverty, and war, there's much for government to do. Lyndon B. Johnson. I never understood wind. You know, I know windmills very much. I've studied it better than anybody I know. They say the noises cause cancer. Donald Trump. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. Where the press is free and every man able to read, all is safe. Thomas Jefferson. The fake news media, the New York Times, NBC News, ABC, CBS, CNN, is not my enemy. It is the enemy of the American people. At what point is it appropriate to challenge their license? Bad for country. Donald Trump. On coming to America. I'm disturbed by the debate that's taking place because I think it undermines the goodness of America. It doesn't recognize the valuable contribution that immigrants make to our society. George W. Bush. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending the best. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have a lot of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're rapists. Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. Donald Trump. On race relations. We're all part of one American family. We are united in common values, and that includes belief in equality under the law, basic respect for public order, and the right to peaceful public protest. A reverence for the dignity of every single man, woman, and child among us. Barack Obama. I think sometimes the black may think they don't have an advantage or this and that. I've said on one occasion, even about myself, if I were starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black, because I really believe they do have an actual advantage. Donald Trump. Speaking about the white supremacist Charlottesville attack of August 12, 2017. I think there's blame on both sides. You had a group on one side that was bad. You had a group on the other side that was also very violent. Nobody wants to say that. I'll say it right now. Donald Trump. At times it seems like the forces pulling us apart are stronger than the forces binding us together. Argument turns too easily into animosity. Disagreement escalates too quickly into dehumanization. Too often we judge other groups by their worst examples, while judging ourselves by our best intentions. This has strained our bonds of understanding and common purpose. But to renew our unity, we only need to remember our values. George W. Bush. We came to America, either ourselves or in the persons of our ancestors, to better the ideals of men, to make them see finer things than they had seen before, to get rid of the things that divide, and to make sure of the things that unite. Woodrow Wilson.